Peace and love, you beautiful miracles of a spiritual level of being. Nathan here from a spiritual level of being, and today I want to discuss Christian Kabbalah. Now, in some scholarly circles, they will tell you that Christian Kabbalah began out of the second part of the 15th century in Florence, France, where some scholars were fleeing from the sack of Constantinople and also fleeing Islamic invasions in Spain. Now, they all landed in Florence and they were practicing their art. Now, this is also during the Renaissance, where the Catholic Church itself was actually losing power. And in exchange, it was an age of science and art, philosophy, and astrology was starting to flourish. Now, many Gnostics were coming out of hiding, out of underground. And so some of these teachings started to emerge because they were into science. So the Christian Kabbalah goes back right deeper than this. This goes back to the early forms of Christianity, with Kabbalah being a part of Judaism. Jesus himself learnt the Kabbalah. John the Baptist learnt the Kabbalah. Early Christians were also learning the Kabbalah. It wasn't until much later, when the Roman Church gained influence, it started to separate itself from these practices, and they tried to say that Kabbalah was evil. Some people today think Kabbalah is a religion. It's not. Now, Kabbalah is many things. Many people have their own idea of philosophy of Kabbalah. Kabbalah itself is also your body. It's your chakras. It's all your body systems what keeps you alive. It's also the planets. It's also representing the exact balance of where the moon and the sun is located in order to spark life on this planet. The Kabbalah is also your level of being, your lower level of being, your high level of being, your good dreams, your bad dreams, your oneness with God, your connection to the divine. It is also represented by life itself, and also your day-to-day actions, how it impacts you in your reality, is many things. Now, most scholars are only taught one sort of side of events. They're not told to go deeper. They're just told to look in one location. So some people that are able got more freedom in a sense, like, I'm not a scholar, but this is my hobby. This is something I really enjoy doing. And I've been studying this since I was a child, so I'm able to go into all these different accounts. I'll spend my own money and I'll go buy these ancient scriptures and I can go read them for myself. I also buy the same books that you'll see in universities for historians and training. So I'm able to get that sort of information. Now, there's other people out there on YouTube that do a great job and they're able to bring a lot of this information to light. So, during this age of the Renaissance, when art and philosophy and astrology was flourishing, people were still being burnt at the stake. The Catholic Church was still persecuting other Christians. So it was still a dangerous time, but it was a good time because art was really flourishing, because people were starting to wake up. And this is also because people were learning how to read and write, and they were able to read the Bible for themselves, when a lot of priests were against anyone reading the Bible. It was only for the priest. That even a simple person reading it was seen as blasphemy or a heresy. So it was an idea of them having complete power. So they were able to dethrone kings. They were able to also throne kings, and in exchange they would be expected to have full support. And if the Vatican declared wars, the Christian kingdoms in exchange would gather their forces. Now, when people were starting to be against wars and starting to encourage art and philosophy, and a lot of them were protesting through art. Now, even Michelangelo, a lot of the early priests didn't like him because he would put nudity in his art, and this was his way of rebelling. So many people had their own little ways of doing it peacefully. Leonardo da Vinci was said to have made inventions that didn't work because he didn't want them being used to kill other Christians. So during this age, science was starting to become more accepted. And, thankfully it did. Otherwise, we would still be essentially in the Dark Ages. So Kabbalah itself was a way of waking up the people. And it was also your own, pretty much, relationship with yourself, your own relationship with the divine, with God. Being that it's unknowable. It's only knowable for you. That's a part of you that you understand. So you being God itself as well. So all of us being a part of the divine. So it also goes into the monad. So cosmic intelligence, cosmic mind. And the mind is a treasure. So being the mind, being the soul. So this is all Gnostic way of thinking. And this is one reason why Kabbalah was really rooted out of Christianity. Because they were trying to ultimately destroy anything that was linked to Gnosticism. So peace and love, everyone. I love you all. Connect to one, mind and soul. Namaste.